In 1982, Charlotte attends a birthday party at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Sitting alone near the stage, she waits for the marionette show to begin. Vanessa brings her a drink, but Charlotte refuses it. When Vanessa asks her to join the other kids, Charlotte admits that nobody likes her and that the marionette is the only one she trusts. Vanessa reassures her that the marionette will still be there later and gently guides her toward the table for cake. As the party drags on, Charlotte grows bored and starts looking around. Suddenly, she notices a boy being led out through the back door by someone wearing a spring Bonnie suit. Alarmed, she runs to nearby adults for help, but no one takes her seriously. Determined, Charlotte rushes toward the back door despite Vanessa trying to stop her. Behind the door, she enters a dark hallway and follows a strange noise to a room where she sees the costumed figure washing something, while the boy lies unconscious on the floor. Quietly, Charlotte picks up the boy and runs for her life. The spring Bonnie figure hears her, grabs a knife, and chases after her. Moments later, Charlotte stumbles onto the main stage, her vision blurred, screaming to get everyone's attention. After placing the boy down, she collapses, revealing she was stabbed during the chase. The stage suddenly opens, and Charlotte falls through the hatch. The marionette emerges, holding Charlotte's lifeless body. The incident soon makes the news, and the pizzeria comes under investigation. However, authorities rule it an accident, blaming Charlotte for entering a restricted area. The company announces the permanent closure of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, but only months later, new locations quietly reopen. 20 years later, Vanessa wakes from a nightmare when she receives a call from Mike, who awkwardly asks her out to dinner. She agrees, while Mike's younger sister Abby teases him about having a crush, which he denies. As Vanessa leaves, she greets Mike's best friend Jeremiah, who's helping him paint the house. While working, Jeremiah suggests Vanessa might be unstable, but Mike dismisses the idea. Their conversation turns to Mike's aunt, who once told disturbing stories about killing bears at the Fazbear Pizzeria. Mike asks Jeremiah to keep her involvement secret to protect Abby. At school, Abby tells her classmates about her past trauma at the local pizzeria. She reveals that she survived thanks to Officer Vanessa and Mike, who worked there as a security guard. Some kids think she's crazy, but others believe her and invite her to lunch. When asked if she'd ever return to the pizzeria, Abby admits she misses her animatronic friends, even though they're broken. Mike once promised to fix them, but never did. During science class, Mr. Berg reminds the students that their projects are due by Saturday. He angrily complains about an upcoming event called Face Fist, a fan gathering celebrating the animatronics, which he considers an insult to real robotics. He warns that anyone who skips the science fair will fail. While reviewing projects, Berg notices Abby's isn't finished and removes her from the fair, saying he only wants impressive robots to protect the school's reputation. However, Abby's new friend believes she's talented enough to fix the animatronics herself. Back home, Abby asks Mike if she can visit the animatronics, but he forbids it and tells her to make friends with real kids instead. Later, Abby watches a TV show called Spectral Scoopers, where ghost hunters explore abandoned buildings. Meanwhile, at a restaurant, Vanessa warns Mike that he shouldn't lie to Abby about being able to repair the animatronics. In response, Mike opens up about his past and reveals that he learned to face his trauma through his own dreams. He encourages Vanessa to do the same. When Mike returns home later that night, he realizes Abby is missing. All she's left behind is a note saying she went to fix her friends. Panicked, Mike rushes to the abandoned Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Inside the ruined building, he finds Abby sitting alone, heartbroken after discovering that the animatronics are gone. Mike finally admits the truth and apologizes for lying. He explains that the animatronics were destroyed long ago, but he believes the children's souls that once inhabited them are now at peace in heaven. As they prepare to leave, Abby notices a strange toy called the Fast Talker, its eyes glowing unnaturally, and decides to keep it. On their way out, Mike spots dozens of posters advertising an event called Face Fist. Among them, one disturbing flyer stands out. It reads Freddy equal to murder, along with a phone number promising more information. Sometime later, the paranormal investigation team known as the Spectral Scoopers arrives at the original Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, the same location where Charlotte was killed. They're greeted by a security guard named Michael, who invited them there. He gives them a tour of the building and even introduces them to the original animatronics, though Lisa quickly notices that Foxy is missing. Suddenly, Lisa begins hearing strange music echoing through the building and breaks away from the group to investigate. Meanwhile, Michael escorts Alex toward Kids Cove. Elsewhere, Rob stumbles upon a tunnel filled with unsettling marionette dolls from the old boat ride. When the lights begin flickering, he pulls out a device to examine them. A bulb suddenly explodes, causing Rob to fall into the water. As he resurfaces, a doll appears in front of him. Lisa continues following the music into an abandoned tunnel and eventually enters a hidden room containing a massive gift box. Looking up, she realizes she's standing directly beneath the stage. The eerie music is coming from a small box beside the gift, and when Lisa turns it off, the large box suddenly bursts open. the marionette emerges and attacks her. Hearing Lisa's screams, Alex rushes over but is disturbed to see Michael laughing. When Alex demands answers, two mechanical arms suddenly grab him by the neck and brutally kill him. Inside the boat tunnel, Rob suddenly hears splashing sounds behind him. When he turns around, he realizes that all the marionette dolls are gone. Before he can react, one doll drops into the water. As Rob looks down, he sees dozens of dolls rising toward him. They swarm around him and drag him underwater, drowning him. Elsewhere, Michael checks the room beneath the stage and discovers Lisa's body twitching on the floor. When she looks up, her eyes glow unnaturally. She immediately begins chasing Michael through the building. He barely escapes outside, listening to her screams of frustration echo behind him. Smiling to himself, Michael whispers, "Welcome back, Charlotte." The next day at the gym, Vanessa struggles to focus on her workout as disturbing visions of Spring Bonnie keep appearing. The figure removes its mask, revealing her father, William, the man responsible for the child murders. William repeatedly taunts her, speaking faster and louder. Vanessa closes her eyes and forces herself to focus until the vision fades. But when she opens them again, William is standing right in front of her. Vanessa runs to the locker room and tries to calm down. Suddenly, a Bonnie animatronic hand grabs her. She pulls out her gun in panic, only to realize it's just another gym member checking on her. Overcome with guilt, Vanessa leaves the gym. At home, Vanessa decides it's time to face her fears through her dreams. She pulls childhood objects from an old box, shuts all the windows, and turns on white noise from the TV. Once she falls asleep, she wanders through her dream version of her house until she finds William. She confronts him, saying she's no longer afraid. Suddenly, every door in the hallway bursts open, and William begins chasing her. Vanessa runs for the front door, but it's locked. William grabs a knife and tells her he's not finished with her. As she flees again, her body transforms into her younger self, and she enters the workshop where the animatronics were created. She hides behind hanging clothes, but when she turns around, she's face to face with a creepy doll with glowing eyes. As she backs away, William finds her and declares that she'll always belong to him. Vanessa runs once more, and her body shifts back into her adult form. Her police uniform appears, and she pulls out her gun, shooting William and sending him over a railing. Even as he falls, William laughs and insists she's still his, until Vanessa suddenly wakes up. Meanwhile, Mike finds Abby trying to communicate with the animatronics using the Fast Talker toy. He doesn't know how to comfort her. That night, as Abby tries to sleep, she hears a voice, the Fast Talker, asking for her help. Without hesitation, Abby grabs her bicycle and rides to the original Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Inside, she's overjoyed to see Chica, who warmly welcomes her and gives her a hug. The next morning, Vanessa visits Mike's house but can't find him. Following a strange noise, she enters Abby's room and sees the Fast Talker babbling nonsense. She's suddenly startled by someone touching her, but it turns out to be Abby. Abby proudly shows her a science project that looks like a miniature Chica. She explains that the animatronics helped her build it and begins describing the original Freddy's location in detail, something that deeply unsettles Vanessa. Just then, Mike arrives with breakfast, and Vanessa asks to speak with him privately. She tries to warn him that Abby went somewhere dangerous, but Mike dismisses it, believing Abby is just imagining things because of the Fast Talker. He shows Vanessa the disturbing flyer and reveals that he called the number on it, which belongs to Charlotte's father. After hearing the murder story, Mike admits he's exhausted from being surrounded by people who refuse to move on. The conversation turns into a heated argument, and Vanessa walks away when Mike claims he's been trying to fix her. That Saturday, Vanessa returns to the original restaurant. Inside, she finds Chica standing there, but this time, the animatronic doesn't move. Vanessa heads to the room beneath the stage and discovers that the large gift box is now empty. Charlotte is controlling Lisa's body, and Vanessa desperately tries to reason with her. But Charlotte has only one demand: to remove the perimeter lock that prevents the animatronics from leaving the building. When Vanessa hesitates, Charlotte suddenly attacks her. Meanwhile, at the science fair, Abby proudly prepares to present her doll. Mr. Berg immediately shows his disgust and tries to send her home. Abby refuses and points to an empty table, forcing Berg to pretend he's changed his mind. He picks up the mini Chica to display it, then deliberately drops it, smashing it on the floor and claiming it was an accident. He tells Abby she'll receive full credit for the class and orders her to go home while he cleans up the trash. Heartbroken, Abby runs away in tears. She soon reaches the restaurant and hugs Chica for comfort. After hearing what happened, Chica offers to become Abby's science project, but first, she needs Abby's help with something. At the same time, Charlotte keeps Vanessa imprisoned, forcing her to watch events unfold through security cameras. It's revealed that this isn't the real Chica. Charlotte is controlling her remotely. She threatens to kill Abby unless Vanessa gives her the password. With no choice, Vanessa gives in. Chica repeats the code, and Abby types it into the computer. The restrictions are lifted, freeing Chica, Freddy, and Bonnie to finally leave the building. Abby calls a cab. And although the driver is startled by Chica, the animatronic pretends to be a person in costume. Elsewhere, Mike visits Charlotte's father, Henry. Henry explains that Mike is the only person who ever called the number with sincere questions. Every other call was a prank. Mike reveals that his younger brother was murdered by William at the pizzeria. Henry believes William also killed Charlotte and considers Face Fist a cruel insult to the memory of the dead children. While looking through Henry's collection of photos and newspaper clippings, Mike notices mention of a river ride inside the pizzeria. He never saw it while working there, and Henry explains that only the original location had that attraction. Mike suddenly remembers the river ride appearing in Abby's drawings. Alarmed, he calls the school and learns Abby isn't there. As he prepares to leave, Henry gives him a music box, something that used to calm Charlotte when she was alive. That evening, Mike arrives at the original restaurant but finds the front door locked. Spotting an open window at the back, he climbs inside. When he turns on his flashlight, he's startled by prototype animatronics hidden in the darkness. He quickly leaves the room, unaware that Lisa's body lies nearby. Eventually, he reaches Kid's Cove and follows a strange noise to the lockers. When he opens them, a tied-up Vanessa falls out. He frees her, and she explains everything. To restore the lock, they need to reach the office, but the only way there is through the river tunnel. As they cross the tunnel, Vanessa reveals that Charlotte is the only ghost in this location. After her death, Vanessa kept seeing her roaming the restaurant, consumed by rage. The music box was the only thing that could keep her asleep. Suddenly, they hear movement in the water and try to hurry, but Mike slips and falls in. Balloon Boy appears in the river and begins following him. Vanessa helps Mike out, and together they run until they finally reach the office. Vanessa uses the computer to track the animatronics and explains that Charlotte wants revenge on the adults who ignored her when she needed help. Mike tells Vanessa to head into town and distract the animatronics while he tries to disconnect the signal. Back at the science fair, Abby introduces Chica to Mr. Berg. Assuming it's just a person in a costume, Berg angrily kicks them out. Later, as Berg walks down a hallway, he suddenly freezes when he sees Chica standing inside another classroom. Suddenly, Chica reappears and grabs him by the neck, dragging him through the glass as it shatters. A terrified man tries to escape but trips over a cart and crawls under a table to hide. Chica easily finds him, drags him out and crushes his head with her hands, killing him instantly. At the Face Fist event, Freddy walks freely through the crowd without causing panic, as everyone assumes he's just someone wearing an impressive costume. At the same time, Abby wins the science fair thanks to Chica's help. However, back at the pizzeria, Mike tampers with the system triggering a security breach. Chica immediately detects it and activates all the prototype animatronics. Mike tracks Freddy's location and calls Vanessa to give her the address. As strange noises echo closer, Mike nervously flashes his flashlight around the office, which has no door to protect him. In a quiet neighborhood, Freddy waits until a man leaves his garage, then blocks the door from closing. Elsewhere, Bonnie appears at a little girl's bedroom window. On the road, Vanessa tries calling Mike, but there's no signal. Suddenly, she hears something crawling across her car roof. It's Foxy. Panicking, Vanessa speeds up, trying to shake him off, but Foxy smashes the window. Distracted, she nearly crashes into another car and swerves sharply, sending her vehicle sliding down a hill. She hits her head as the car finally stops. Foxy breaks another window and starts pulling at her seatbelt. Vanessa frees herself, moves to the other seat, and narrowly avoids Foxy as he smashes through the opposite window. After a struggle, she pushes his arm away, climbs back into the driver's seat, and speeds off. Meanwhile, Freddy enters a house and startles a middle-aged couple, who panic and throw food at him. Freddy coldly tells them they ignored Charlotte and left her to die. Outside, Vanessa slams on the brakes in front of the house. The sudden stop launches Foxy through the window, crashing him into Freddy and knocking both animatronics out. Vanessa screams for the couple to run. At the same time, the little girl lets Bonnie into her room. After a short conversation, Bonnie heads downstairs and grabs a knife to attack her mother. The woman dodges the first strike, and just as Bonnie prepares to attack again, the girl steps in to protect her. Back at the pizzeria, Mike is suddenly confronted by prototype Freddy. He puts on a bear mask, causing Freddy's scanner to mistake him for an animatronic and walk away. Balloon Boy then appears as a screeching noise fills the speakers. Furious, Mike rips Balloon Boy's head off and throws it into the hallway, where its glowing eyes reveal prototype Freddy and Chica approaching. Suddenly, the vent bursts open and prototype Bonnie appears. Mike barely manages to close the vent and rushes back to the computer. When the lights go out, Chica appears beside him. He puts the mask back on, stopping her attack, but Foxy replaces her moments later. Foxy's scanner malfunctions, making the mask useless. Mike desperately works at the computer and finally shuts down the signal Charlotte is using to control the animatronics. All the robots immediately power down. At the same moment, the mother and daughter escape from Bonnie. Mike calls Vanessa with the good news. but freezes when he sees a signal activating at his own house. Chica is there, putting Abby to bed. When the shutdown hits, Chica's body begins shaking and cracking until it breaks apart. The marionette bursts out and jumps onto Abby, reactivating the signal and waking the animatronics again. Vanessa warns Mike as he races back to the abandoned pizzeria with a plan. Inside, Mike speaks directly to the souls of the murdered children, begging them to help Abby. Meanwhile, Vanessa's car breaks down, but Jeremiah finds her and drives her to Mike's house inside. Vanessa follows the sound of the fast talker and discovers Abby is possessed by Charlotte. She hides and waits for the right moment to escape. As Abby stumbles and grabs her head in pain, Mike arrives with Henry's music box. The melody forces Charlotte to release Abby, screaming in rage. As they try to escape, the animatronics surround the house, blocking every exit. Suddenly, Michael appears and reveals himself as Vanessa's brother. He admits he wants to continue their father's legacy and organize Face Fist so the animatronics could hide among people. He offers Vanessa a chance to join him, but she refuses. Michael orders the animatronics to kill them. Just as Bonnie moves, he's yanked through a window. It's Foxy from the abandoned location who smashes Bonnie's head. The children's souls have answered Mike's plea and return to the animatronics to protect Abby. Freddy tears his counterpart in half, Bonnie decapitates Mangle Foxy, and Chica finishes the fight by ripping off her counterpart's head. Michael tries to escape but is knocked unconscious by Jeremiah. Soon after, the friendly animatronics begin to fail and collapse. One of the children's spirits appears and tells Abby that their souls are finally moving on. He also warns Mike that once he's gone, he won't be able to hold him back anymore. When Mike asks who he means, the spirit vanishes. Mike leaves with Abby and Jeremiah but tells Vanessa to stay away, saying he can no longer trust her. As she watches them leave, the marionette suddenly jumps onto her, possessing her once again. Sometime later, 3 teenagers break into the abandoned Freddy Fazbear's Pizza looking for props. In the basement, they discover Spring Bonnie. His eyes slowly begin to glow.